What's up, guys, and welcome back to These Garage. In today's video, we're going to be tearing apart this gearbox on the Scrambler 500. Let's get right into it. Alright, so as you know, this thing is tore up. The original owner didn't disclose this to me, and I didn't get to see it because the thing was covered in dirt. But this gearbox is obviously cracked. It looks like the chain came off and cracked the case for the gearbox. Probably wasn't taken care of very well and wasn't maintained, and the chain broke. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's where we're at. So this thing is still leaking. There has been drips. I mean, you can see some underneath it right now. So I think the first step of what we need to do, I'm going to have to get this chain off of here. So I'll pop the master link off. And then in order to actually get this gearbox off, we have to take off the two clutches. And I've never done this before, but I do have a puller now. And while I'm doing it, while I'm at it, I'm going to be replacing this tore up spring in here. So this spring is broken. I want to get that out of there, and I want to get this gearbox looked at. I mean, this thing is just all kinds of who knows what. And I want to tear it apart, see what's going on inside of there. But like I said, first things first, I think I'm going to pop the chain off and then going to go from there. All right, there's the master link. I just rolled this thing forward. I could have just put my jack under here and spun the rear wheels, but I just rolled it forward until I found the master link. So I'm going to pop this off and get this chain apart and taken off of here. Chain is off. Now the chain's off, I'm just going to get this belt off, and to do that I'm just kind of spin this. I think this is how you can get it off. Just kind of work it off here. Like that. Belt is off. Not a bad looking belt. I mean, he said it was pretty new, so there's our belt. Now I'm gonna get this first clutch off. I think this is a primary clutch. The spring is broken, so I think I'm gonna zip these off of here and get them off. Get this off too, actually. I got to get this off in order to get this plate off to redo the spring. But I'm going to put the new spring on here so it's not flopping around anymore. All right, so this is a 5/8. So I'm just going to try to zip this off of here. Came right off. All right, so there's a little bushing there. Need to make sure I don't miss anything. All right, now that this is off, I should be able to zip these things off of here and replace that spring, and then we'll be able to put the puller in there and pull this thing out. These are 7/16, so 6 of them should just come right out. Last one. Okay, our plate literally should just slide off. Looks a little rough in here, but I imagine this spring being broken like this does not help. I mean, it's literally snapped, so not sure what happened there. Not sure if I need to grease this or not, but let's go get that other spring and put it up here. I just went with this Niche Industries. It's another blue spring, same kind of thing going on here. I'm not sure what the green is. There was green on the other one too. If green is supposed to be a certain way, maybe it's supposed to face a certain angle. I might look that up real quick because I don't know. Because the other one had some green painted on it as well. All right, well, I'm not sure what this paint is for. So if you guys know, let me know. But I'm just gonna put that on there and literally do the same with this, and then just kind of do it by hand here. See if I can get at least 1 or 2 of these things threaded in.
Yeah, Daddy.
Kind of like that, and I think all the rest should be pretty easy. And then we'll just snug these bad boys up and be good to go here. All right, so I got two different pullers here. One is for one side, one's for the other. I don't actually know which one's which. I'm just gonna stick them in there and see, because they'll only fit one side, I'm assuming. So this one fits in there pretty well, and this one is a lot thicker. So I'm gonna guess it's that one. I mean, this threads wouldn't even fit in there, so I'm gonna assume it's this short one. Or sorry, the long one. So we're gonna thread this sucker in, and hopefully it should just pull out. I think you can use an impact on this end down here, right here. I'm not sure what size it is, but I'm gonna assume you can. Just thread this bad boy in, maybe, until it stops or pushes this out. So I might be sitting here spinning this for a minute. All right, so I've reached the end. This thing's not threading anymore. It's just kind of spinning the motor over. This is a 7/8 socket here. I'm assuming that's what you do, because I can't turn it over with a wrench anymore. Let me get my big drill. I meant my big impact, my 1/2 inch here. Ow, that is loud. Hopefully this is the right thing to do. Is it loud? Yeah. I think this is what you're supposed to do. Oh, yep, there it goes. Alrighty. We have our drive primary clutch off. Awesome, and now you can see the damage to this box back here. All right, looks like a very similar process for this back one. We're gonna pull this bolt out here and then thread the fat, short little puller through there. This looks like a 1/2 inch right here. That comes right out. So some people said this thing will just slide off of here. But I have a puller, so I don't have to worry about that. Maybe. This puller's too short. Won't reach, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do that if it won't reach. I got my big ass hammer here. I'm just gonna, saw some people that you just tap that and it'll come loose. So I'm gonna give this a few good whacks and hopefully it pops off, because my puller won't reach. I might cut this off because I cannot get this thing off. So I think if I cut off literally like 1/2 inch or so of this puller that was supposed to be the right one, it should work. But it just doesn't reach, you know, unless just something is wrong. I mean, it's not even 1/2 inch. It's a 1/4 inch until I can start threading it, but I'd rather do like 1/2 inch. Maybe get my angle grinder out and just chop off some of this. So I just wanted to start it and see how well it sounded without this clutch on here making all that noise, and the motor sounds really good. A lot better than I thought it was going to. No rattling, no ticking, nothing like that. So it was that clutch. My neighbor was right. What the noise was that was coming from over here. I'm gonna attempt to grind some of this off. Hopefully it works. Well, it did work. Got sparks everywhere, but it worked. The cut is pretty straight. And it is shorter, so let's see if this thing works. Well, it does fit. Now I just need to bust it off of there. Inch and a 1/16. Woo! Okay. Let's see if this thing works. Well, it's pulling it off of there. It's pretty rusty. I'm going to squirt some penetrating fluid on there. Put some on these threads too. It just does not want to come off of here. It'll go back on. Let's squirt some inside here. See if that does anything. And my ears are ringing. I don't understand. What is stopping this thing? It goes on easy. It just don't want to come off this last little bit here. Hopefully I didn't mess the threads up. Oh man, my ears. Let me give this penetrating fluid some time to penetrate. Well, I got it off. I didn't actually even mean to. It was on here and I was working it back and forth and just yanked and it came right off. So, but man, it is rusty. Look at that thing. That rusty old hole there. I'll definitely be cleaning this thing up and maybe throwing some grease on these things. A couple of 3/8 bolts. Looks like this one they didn't put back on right. But we got 1 and 2 here. There's supposed to be another one over here, but it's not there, so that's always awesome. Now this belt cover should come right off. Yeah. What in the world is happening here? Okay, so there was a washer on this one. Is that even the same kind? No, it's not. So that's probably just a random ass bolt. You can see there was some damage on this belt box here, and looks like this rubber piece I'll need to replace because it's ripped and tore off. I'm gonna put these back on here though. Maybe this isn't meant to be the same one. Okay, so it looks like we'll have to take this bracket off here to get to the transmission mount over here and there. And then it looks like there's one here and maybe on the other side. And then our transmission should be free other than the linkage at the top. So take these 2 bolts off so I can take this bracket off here. Looks like they're the same. Yep. Put these back in here so I don't lose them. And there's our other swing arm mount right there. That's messed up on the other side. Okay, so now we have a big bolt. That's like a big bolt all the way through. And then another one right here. And it looks like after that, the transmission is free. And then we can take this bad boy out. Other than, like I said, the linkage up here. I might be able to just zip that off real fast. Yeah, I took the linkage off and the wiring harness plug. The linkage is a 1/2 inch. And this right here, this mount is a 9/16. Okay, that one's out. That one was easy. Gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. What's next is a 9/16 up here holding this nut. And I'm gonna all right. That is free. So technically, there shouldn't be anything else holding this transmission on, unless it attaches somehow. Oh, it might actually attach to the swing arm. No, does it? I didn't think it attached to that. It might attach to this swing arm down here. If that's the case, I ain't getting this thing out anytime soon because I don't have a socket that'll fit this massive swing arm bolt right here. I have to order one. That sucks. Let me wiggle it around and see. It feels like it's in there. It doesn't feel like it's loose like it should be, unless there's stuff holding it on the bottom. Now that would make, okay, wait. There is. There's a bolt holding it to the bottom down here. Another like through bolt. Okay. All right, I feel less worried now. Let me get that bolt on the bottom off. Okay, it looked free from the bottom. Let's see. Well, it's moving. Oh, I think I do have to get this swing arm off of here. It looks like it threads right into this transmission. That's what it's spinning on right there. Dang. All right, so this is going to be on a pause for now, guys, because I'm going to have to order a socket that'll fit this big-ass thing. I have to fix this swing arm anyway. The bushings are bad, and it's missing a whole nut over there. The thrust nut and the washer and everything. This swing arm is just loose as crap. So I'm going to have to order that. I might as well order one of these too. These little plastic boots here for this. And I think that's, not much else I can do. So let me get that order. Let me get something on the way here and we'll call it good. All right, I got my massive socket here. 1 3/4 inches for this swing arm nut here. I did break it loose a minute ago, so it's already loose. I just kind of didn't record it. So it did come loose pretty easy, thankfully. So it wasn't too hard to do. This should be the last thing holding this transmission in. All right, I moved you guys over here, so hopefully you can see this. Oh, goodness. The transmission is officially out, and it's pouring gear fluid everywhere. Awesome. Well, it is officially out, thankfully. Now I just need to figure out where to pour all this gear fluid out at. So, and then we can actually get a glimpse of this horrible damage. We got it out. Here it is on the bench. We could look at some of this damage on this thing. It's coated and covered in grime and grease. I'm half tempted to take it outside and pressure wash it, but I know it's leaking. It'd probably throw water all in it. There is a bolt that I broke off up here. It's some kind of spring, and I was looking at it because whenever you shift this thing, it doesn't click good, and there's supposed to be a pin in here along with this spring right here. And as I was screwing this back in, the whole bolt just sheared off. So that kind of sucks about that part. Not that big of a deal because we'd have to have a new case here because this thing is just destroyed all the way across here. There obviously is a hole in this or something, and it's still leaking from somewhere. I imagine, oh man, there's still gear fluid all in this. Well, I'm gonna go dump this out and then I'll come back. All right, this thing has had some time to drain, and I cleared off my little workbench here to give me some room. I know first thing, if you read on this big yellow attention, you're supposed to take off this thing before you tear anything else apart. So who knows if the original owners here who did this fantastic job did that. I'm also going to take off this, pop them in, and I should be able to lift that off of there to get this absolutely trashed sprocket off of here. This thing, why even put this back on there? I have no idea. So anyway, this is bent, or maybe it's supposed to be like that. It's probably supposed to be like that. I think this was, let me pay attention here. Like this, I think this piece was on first, then this, I believe. Anyway, we'll set that over there. I can look at the parts diagram. Okay, so now here's our dipstick. Hasn't shown anything in forever. And I'm going to get a Torx bit here to fit these. I mean, I have no idea how this is supposed to look, so hopefully that looks right. I do know it was, there's neutral. That's gear. There's neutral again. I don't know if that's forward or reverse, but that is neutral. So now that those are out, I believe we can actually crack this thing apart. And I may start doing that and then probably go over to my oil container. And that way I don't drip oil all over everything. All right, these are 1/2-inch bolts. And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So I'm just going to start cracking these bad boys out. Okay, now it says to take like a soft blow hammer and hit, there's 3 spots. One here, one over here, and there should be one on the bottom right there to separate this case. Should be able to, I don't have a soft blow hammer, but I got a rubber mallet. Not that I think that's going to work because they've RTV'd the crap out of this thing. So, all right, so whether I was supposed to do this or not, make sure this is neutral again. I took this pry bar here and kind of just literally pried it like that, and the case started coming apart. So there it goes right there. Let's see. Trying not to. Oh man, this case is ruined. Look, it's separating right here. This whole case is separating where all this RTV and silicone and stuff is. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would say this thing is definitely worse for wear. This is probably not advisable to use this thing, but more than likely I am going to be buying a new one of these. So let's think of this as a way to examine the case. Okay. It's coming off, but I don't know. Oh, buddy. Oh, pal. All right. Hold on a second. Stuff's coming loose. All right. I literally did nothing different. I just twisted and this whole case face came off. So this piece is great. This side. I mean, it looks good. I don't know, is this a bearing or is that just a seal? That's just a seal. I mean, that side looks great. This side, though, definitely not. I have no idea where some of these things go, which is very unfortunate. So this definitely goes in here. This goes right here into this thing somehow. Or maybe it goes into that. Definitely not. It slides in there somehow. And this thing is supposed to slide in there. Well, I have no idea if this is the correct way to pull this out of here, which is very unfortunate because it just kind of all started coming apart. I don't want to mess something up in here. All right, guys. So my phone actually is about to die. That's why I'm recording this. This case half is good. I took everything off of this one. It literally just slides right out. I have it all covered over here so it doesn't get dirty. The only thing that I took out that I didn't really show you is this shift shaft. There's a little C-clip that you can pull apart, and the shift shaft just comes right out. I'm going to really clean this thing up, and I'm going to attempt to JB weld it. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, then I'm going to be forced to buy a new case or new transmission because they don't sell these things anymore. I mean, they do, but I'm not paying $500 for a case half. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to clean this thing up really good, pressure wash it out, degrease it. There's just JB Weld all over it, and I'll bring you guys back when I do that and let my phone get some charge. Well, I didn't charge my phone, and I don't have my mic on anymore, but I cleaned this thing up a little bit and got a lot of the RTV off of here. And I believe my plan is going to be JB welding it again myself and trying to make it a little bit cleaner. Getting it cleaned up again, degreased, try to get a little bit more work on this stuff, get it cleaned up. I called a welder, and he said that if there's any JB Weld left on it for aluminum, that it's a pain in the ass and it wouldn't be worth the money spent trying to fix it versus just buying a new one. So that's not how I like to do things. I like to do things cheap, so I'm going to attempt to JB Weld this before I do anything. Because just this spring, detent spring over here that I broke off, that bolt, is like $50 alone. So I want to try to make sure to get this JB welded and it'll hold before. And my biggest thing is leaking, because I don't care that it's broken, because it has 3 bolts on this sucker. So it shouldn't have a problem staying together on the case. Like with the other half, it's just leaking gear oil everywhere. So I don't want to have anything leaking out of this. So I do think I'll clean it up some more, wash it off again, degrease it, try to get as much of this red RTV off of here, and along with the other case. And then when I get all that done, I'll bring you guys back in for whatever I'm going to do. These things have sat overnight. They're dry. I'm going to hit them each side of this where it's going to be JB welded with some brake cleaner and really make sure all the grease and grime is gone. And then what I'm going to do is put the 2 case halves together, and I'll probably just do like a time lapse of that. And I'm going to mix this JB weld and start putting it on. Hopefully it holds. Okay, it is JB welded as best I could get it. I made sure to gob a bunch of it on there. I mean, it's all sealed, hopefully, from the outside. I'm going to let this thing cure for probably at least a day, 24 hours. It does say 15 to 24 hours, but it's pretty humid out, so I'm going to at least let it set for 24 hours. It is currently, well, I don't know. My phone's not pulling up here. It's 9:52 a.m., so tomorrow around 10, it should be cured. But I may let it wait another day. I try to get pretty close on these cracks in here, but it's pretty difficult because I don't want to seal the actual edge up. But that's where we are right now. Bring you guys back in a couple hours. Gonna get some of this steel stick here and kind of mold it together, and I'm gonna try to form this thing that was gone here. This JB Weld's been on here for about 8 hours now. It's pretty hard, not fully cured, but I think it's gonna be good enough for me to add this steel stick here and kind of form this back to how it was. I think that looks pretty good. I mean, for the most part, it kind of matches the way it resembles the old case there. So this stuff sets in like 5 minutes and cures in an hour, so it should be good to go here in a minute. Just trying to make sure it's all tucked in here and pressed against this. It has loads of stuff to grip on. I may do this part right here too. I don't know. You don't really have to. It's just kind of for looks for me. But I'm gonna go wash my hands, and they're nasty, and come back in a couple minutes and it should be cured or set. All right, it's been 24 hours. This JB Weld is nice and hard. I'm going to go ahead and pull all the bolts out, split this case again, and then JB Weld it from the inside. So that's the next step. Also, my neighbor gave me this little tool right here. It's a seal puller, and he showed me how to do this side. So we got this side out, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this side out. Once the other side of this thing is JB welded, I want to make sure it's pretty tight in there. All right, here it is. Looks pretty solid. I mean, it looks ugly, but the inside looks pretty solid. And I'm going to spray this side out with some brake cleaner, make sure there's no grease or grime. Mix up some more JB Weld, and I'm going to try to lay it really, really flat in here. Real smooth if I can. That way it's not in the way of anything. And go from there. Okay, it's all in there. What I did this time to make it a little smoother is I spit on my finger and just kind of rubbed it. I mean, it turned out way better. I wish I would have done this with this side because it would have looked way better, but I really don't care how it looks as much as how it functions. I feel pretty confident this is strong enough now. I put the inside JB Weld on about 10 hours ago, so I think I won't have any issue trying to get this seal out because I am replacing these, and this is a little tool my neighbor gave me to use, and supposedly you literally just hook this. It's how I got the other one out on the other case. You just kind of pull like that and do this side. Just like that. Boy, it works pretty good. Just pulls these seals right out. I got some new ones coming in. I just wanted to get this out on camera, and then the new ones, I'll literally just tap them in and then probably pound them in with a socket. Got the seals in. I got this one in just to see how I would do it. I literally just used a rubber mallet on top of this because it's almost the same size, and then hit it with another hammer. This one's a little bit easier, this case, because one, it's not the broken one, and two, it doesn't have any of those dowel pins in the actual thing there, so it sits flat. This one is going to be more of a pain because it doesn't sit flat, and when I hammer it, I feel like it's just going to be messing these dowel pins up. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about doing this, but once I get the seals in, I essentially can put the transmission back together, because the last step is this detent pin with the shift bullet, which I don't have, but I can put all the transmission back in. I'm going to read the service manual, double check on how to do everything, and then, like I said, once it's in, and then I'll be able to seal the gasket, put a gasket around there, seal it up pretty good. I'm going to make sure this thing is clean, and go from there. But this seal was easy. It just popped right in. I mean, 2 or 3 hammers, and it was good to go. So this is the seal I'm using. It's from replacementkits.com, I guess. I got it on Amazon. I'll link it down below. I looked at this, and the problem with that is you can't even tap like I got these blocks of weird, and it smells much. So I was obviously this. So we're just doing how to here. I think we're in. When it's pretty flush, that was good to me. So I'm good. So to clean this seal here, got some red Scotch-Brite, and I'm just going to use some brake cleaner here and literally spray it on here. And this red Scotch-Brite works really well. Gets anything off of here, and will get, if there's anything left, it'll kind of just scuff it up. I think what I need to do is I'm going to have to lift this up so we can slide the sprocket through. All right, it's in, it's spinning. Now, hopefully this chain, let's see if you can see this. This chain right here is showing some slacks. I don't know, that's pretty loose. I don't know if that's, the spec it gives you is to measure 8 lengths, and then it's supposed to be 3 point something inches, but I don't have a one of those caliper things to measure exactly how big it is, which kind of sucks. So hopefully this chain isn't too loose. All right, next, I believe we need to put our little shifter thing here. Once your shift fork is in, you take your pin here and you slide it in there so that this can move up and down as you twist this thing. So the next thing is to get this in, I believe, which is under here. Like, oh, we got to take this clip off of here. Like that. And this has to go in. And this needs to somehow oh, come on. Okay, this isn't working out exactly how I'd hoped. This goes in here. It's because I don't have access like I should. Why won't it fit? Okay, so the shift fork needs to go that way. Like this. This goes up. I gotta pull this pin out. So for some reason I can't. Maybe you're supposed to adjust this before the pin is in there. Okay, and then you put the pin in. So now when you twist this, this locks in there. It's good there. Now that that's in, I believe the next step is literally putting the other half of the case on. I'm gonna go ahead and add this gasket maker. It's gonna take me a minute to do this, so I'm gonna do it on a time lapse. Gasket maker is on. It says to apply while it's still wet, so both sides of this thing are clean. I'm going to push it on and then hand tighten the bolts. Hand tighten the bolts is what it says to do. And then wait an hour. All right, I got it together. This was an absolute nightmare. Nothing was lining up. Now, I don't know, the gasket may be too wet now or too dry. This was just a pain in my ass. Nothing was working correctly. I'm supposed to get these things hand tight and then go back in an hour and torque them down. But at this point, I don't even know if this gasket is gonna work because I waited. It took me so freaking long to get this case to mate. It like literally would not go. And then it jammed. This was the most frustrating part, I think, of this whole thing so far. A bit of a plan change here. Here is the finished thing that I did. It's got the new seals in it. It's all JB welded, but I got another one. So I actually found another parts quad for $100. It's a Trailblazer 250. I've already tore the thing apart. I didn't film any of it because I didn't know what I was going to use for this video, and I didn't potentially really want to do that. But my plan as of right now, that's a new sprocket as well. I just slid it on there. My plan as of right now is to tear that one open, check all the gears, check the chain, make sure it's good. If it's good, I'm going to take it and throw it in this quad, the 500. And then the one I fixed and rebuilt, or not really rebuilt, but put the new seals in and stuff, I'm going to kind of sell this one. I'm going to part it out, maybe sell it, sell the pieces, because, you know, if this one is functioning and works, why risk putting this one back in? I think this one will be fine. I don't think I'll have any issues with it, but it's going to be harder to sell this with this broken piece here that's all JB welded, and I would obviously disclose that if I was selling it or when I'm selling it. So I think I'd rather put that one in, or worst case scenario, I can take the case half of that one and put it on that one, but it means I'm going to have to tear that one back apart. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go with this. I think that's the plan as of right now. I've already used several bolts from the other quad, and the main part that I needed was this right here, this detent plug with the shift bullet. With the shift bullet, I've already put it in this one just to test. It shifts great. Along with this one shifts great. So that's my plan as of right now. I got, several parts and pieces off that 250. It is a two-stroke, so the motor and stuff doesn't match up, but literally almost everything on it matched up. I also got the new, from the 250, it had one of these rev limiters, and it works perfectly with the motor, so I don't have to keep that unplugged now, which is nice. So that's where we're at with this as of right now. I still need to fix the swing arm bolts and stuff, but I think I'm going to do that as a separate video because I got all the parts and pieces for it in. Plus, I have a whole nother parts quad that I could just swap that stuff all out. So that's what we're going to do as of right now. I didn't want to make this video like 3 hours long. It's already really long, so I'm probably going to cut a lot of it down and show you guys what I'm doing. But essentially the plan, just like I said, crack this one open, check it. If it's good, put it back together, put it in this quad. All right, I got the case split. I've cleaned it up. I just need to get the old gasket off here. There's like no gasket whatsoever on this thing, so should be fairly easy. Gears look okay. The dog gears look all right. They're not as good as the previous one that I just took apart, but they're okay. This sprocket was a little loose. This gear, the bearing was coming off, so I just pounded it down a little bit, and it's nice and tight. Chain looks okay. So I think right now I'm going to clean off this case here on each side real good and throw some gasket maker on there, put this thing back together, and basically torque it down, wait a day, and put this thing on the scrambler. Unfortunately, I did not start the time lapse. I'm not sure what happened there. I started some of it, but I guess the rest of it didn't record. I don't know if my phone got too hot or what, but gasket is on, and these are hand tight. Just screwed them on hand tight to squish the gasket out a little bit. Next is to put I should have actually put this on to begin with. And then I can wait about an hour for this gasket to cure, and then I need to torque it down to how it's supposed to be. So everything still works good. Here's 12mm wrench, fits this perfectly. There's neutral, gear, here. So now we just wait for the gasket to cure. Everything's good in there. I'm glad that I took that apart. I know that everything is good, so that's where we're at now. Everything, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'll be back later. All right, I got this detent pin and shift bullet in. It does shift now, so right there, it's either forward or reverse, neutral, and then it's hard to do one-handed, but there's the next gear. So it shifts good, it shifts like it should. Now we just let this thing cure, and we should be able to throw it in tomorrow. And then hopefully once we throw it in tomorrow, we'll fill it up with some fluid and basically be done. It's been about, I don't know, let's just say 20 hours almost, maybe a little less. I did this around 3 o'clock yesterday. It's almost 1, so like 22 hours. So I'm can put this thing fluid back in it, but I just got the swing arm bushings done. So you'll see that video later on, but I'm going to go ahead and start putting this transmission back, this gearbox back in here, so I can torque up this bolt over here and start getting everything back to how it's supposed to be. So that's the plan as of right now. Gonna start putting this stuff back on. I'll probably throw it on a time-lapse thing just to get it all back on here. And I mean, we're one step closer to seeing this thing run. I'm so happy. Transmission is in. It shifts wonderfully. Well, I say that. There's reverse, neutral, forward. I probably should tighten this up. I might need to adjust that some, so I'm waiting until I get the plastics on to finalize that. A little air vent, I just cut a little hose there, stuffed it into the frame where it goes. Next thing I'm going to do is throw this belt cover on so I can get the belt box, and I'm not going to worry about the belt box, but the clutches there, I'm going to get them back hooked up. And then, I think after that, I got this chain dripping. I had it soaking in some oil trying to clean it. It was really nasty. So I don't want to have to buy a new chain. I do have a new Master Link, a brand new one, same exact size, so it should be good. Really, after that, I can throw some fuel in it, start it, and let it run. I may jack the rear end up and make sure it's running good and working. And that's it, guys. I mean, other than putting everything back together. So we should see. I did throw on that new sprocket down there. I should have did it before I put everything on, but oh well. I'm going to fill this thing up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, these are back on. If you're wondering, that's 40 foot-pounds to torque this to that, 17 foot-pounds to torque that to that. All right, I threw some oil in the gearbox. Now what I'm going to do, the chain is not hooked up right now. I'm basically just going to run this thing. I'm going to put it in drive, reverse, make sure it shifts through, kind of flush out anything, drain the oil. I got enough of it to, you only need 11 ounces for this thing. So I got plenty of fluid in there to kind of flush it out. I'm going to go through a whole quart and then do the same thing, flush out a whole quart and then put some new fluid in it, and then boom, we're good to go. Update where we are. That one is the old one that I got off of the parts quad. Here's the new one. This one has a bunch of problems. The weights are loose. The roller bushings, they're missing the actual washers there. So that works. For some reason, the thing's not lining up correctly because the belt, I'm assuming this is what it is. The belt, the secondary clutch spins while that first one is on. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to take off the spring because this is a new spring and put it on that one. And then from there, I think what I'm going to do is drain the transmission because I've let it run a couple times. And then I'm going to flush it out, do it again, let it run a couple times, then flush it out, do it again, flush it out. Just, I want to make sure there's nothing in that transmission whatsoever. And then I got my chain hanging here. It's been dripping all day, so hopefully there's not much oil left on it. And then what I'm going to do is take that, throw it on this bad boy, and then maybe take it for a spin. Belt box is on, fuel tank is on. I threw on these, I found some bolts that'll fit these, and I just kind of threw some PVC pipe there to kind of clamp that down because there was nothing there to begin with, and this fuel tank was flopping around. Took it for a drive real quick, just up and down, trying to get this transmission moving around. It does suck because that secondary clutch is spinning, and whenever you put it in gear, it clunks really loud, and I'm sure that's going to wear stuff down over time, but I'm not, I don't know. If you know how to do that, let me know, or how to fix that. But for now, I'm just going to probably, I did 3 flushes on the transmission. I'm going to put some more fluid in it now and call it good. And then probably move on to other things and call that the end of this video because this was a very, very long video. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of this one. Several hours later, it is currently dark out. Finally got this thing put back together. As you can see, all the plastics are on. This is the donor seat from the parts quad. The original seat is right here. It doesn't work very good. It doesn't fit on there, so it keeps popping off, and there's a bunch of missing parts. So I'm going to rewrap that one, but that's going to be later on down the road. This thing rips. I took it down the road and back just a little bit ago in the dark, no lights on it, and I got a little scared because it's a lot quicker than I thought. Still little issues with the transmission. Not really transmission, the clutches, but I don't know, guys. A couple more things to fix on her, and then she'll be ready for sale. I'm glad. Super tired. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Kind of losing my mind. Hope you have a good one. Hope you have a great day or night, I guess. That's going to be the end of this one. Consider subscribing if you want to see more content with this thing. Like the video if you want to help support the channel even further. Consider becoming a member. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good one. Bye.